Welcome back to Toronto. I just did a quick video on books, and of course, I forgot some books. So here's more books on building fly rods, and I hang my head in shame because I forgot to talk to you all about Ron Bartsch's 2 volumes, Best of the Planing Form. When I first started looking into building bamboo fly rods, there wasn't a ton of information, but the one thing that was out there was the Planing Form newsletter. And this was a newsletter that was compiled by the community, by Ron Bartsch, and mailed out. So you got it in the mail, which was fantastic. And it's a nice hard copy. And I didn't use these books all that much because I always had the newsletters. Now I've since given those newsletters to another new builder so he can enjoy them like I did. But the best of is all compiled in these two books. Best of the Planing Form and Best of the Planing Form Volume 2. These are basically articles and tips, techniques, little essays, glue information, heat treating information, repair information, anything that Ron thought was worthwhile. So these are great books, still available. And I will say one thing about these books. There's a lot of fantastic tips that never caught on. I'm not sure what people were thinking. People get caught in a rut of doing things a certain way, but there's a number of things that I do in my building process that are a direct result from these tips that are in here. I don't see anybody else doing them, so I'm not taking claim for the tips, but they're just fantastic. Simple little boards that do this, shortcuts, some of John Bachstrom's innovations, Bill Wara, So I was really remiss in not including these because these are actual articles like you'd get in popular woodworking, but on bamboo rod making. So how incredible is that? So sorry, Ron, for missing you, but these are great. Best of Planing Form Volume 1 and 2. Another interesting little book, Classic Bamboo Rod Makers Past and Present, Dick Spur. This is basically sort of a 1 or 2 pager, depending, I guess, on how famous you were. But there's Pinky Gillum and a nice picture holding some salmon. So all the guys are chronicled in here, or many of them anyway. I'll just, Mark Garner, Glenn Brackett, Per Brandon, Sam Carlson, Hoagie, Walt, Mike Clark, Tom Dorsey, Lyle Dickerson. That's just the first one. So hard to find this book, I believe. Again, not many of them were made. A nice sort of leatherish outside, but a great book and something I do pick up from time to time and just review things. Here's another book on West Jordan, Profile of a Rod Maker, but this was done by Dick Spur, not the one I featured last time by one of his family members, but copies of letters, copies of, unfortunately this book has fallen on hard times, copies of catalog pages. So this is really hardcore information. A book I've used quite a few times. It seems to be coming apart, but that's the way it goes when you use them, I guess. Michael Sinclair Rod Restoration Handbook. This book really is a labor of love because it's got all the rod companies, it's got the different colors, the thread, the sizes of the grips. So this is all really, like he says on the cover, a restoration handbook. So if you've got a book that's in rough shape, you don't know what's happened to it, you can refer to this and it'll give you a good idea of what's going on. So for trade rods, this would be an invaluable one. I don't handle a lot of trade rods up here in Toronto. We just don't seem to have them. We're kind of in hardy land up here. Another book by Michael Sinclair. This is all about Hedden, obviously one of the most prolific, well-known makers. They made millions of fly rods. So again, this is a story of that company, fly rod history and models and drawings and pictures. If you're looking just to increase your general knowledge on all things bamboo, these books are great. And like I said in the first one, a lot of work for not a lot of reward on these books. These people that put a lot of time in, and this will last generations, and that information won't be lost now because it's been cataloged properly. This book isn't about bamboo rod building, but it may be my, well, it is. It's my favorite book that I have. And it's my favorite because it's the one I grab the most often. So in the winter, things are quiet, you just want to have a coffee and flip through it. The photography in this book is beyond compare. It's absolutely incredible. Close-ups of flies, close-ups of tackle, fly reels, and great pictures of rods. So if you want to see what a Leonard, what a Gillum, what a Payne looks like, and not a snapshot, this is an incredible Land of Little Rivers. Austin McFrancis, he's a gentleman that's still active in the Catskill area. So if you want to buy yourself a gift or tell your family to get you something, it's a book that you won't be disappointed with. I'll see if I can quickly open it for you. Well, there's a red quill tied by Art Flick, not just a red quill tied by Art Flick. The Dunn variant, you know, just incredible book. And there's some of the rod pictures, starting back with the earlier rods. Just really, really, really well done. So that's probably my favorite book. Not about rod building, just of all my books that I have. The last one's a really interesting book, Bend the Rod Double by Jim Bond. So no relation to me, but kind of the same name. Whoever this guy is, he did a lot of fishing, caught a lot of great fish. You see his little hat everywhere. He's got a ton of fish. There's a nice brace of trout there with a fiberglass rod and a fly reel. You know, we don't harvest the fish like that anymore, but they did then, and that was okay. It's inscribed to Walter M. Ross, sincerely yours, Jim Bond, compliments of our mutual friend Bob Beaupre. So not sure who any of those people are. So if you know who this man is, shoot me an email. Anyway, just a quick addendum to my other book. I felt bad missing out the Planing Forum books because Ron Barch was an invaluable member of our community. Without him, I don't think that this renaissance of gathering and bamboo rod making would have happened. He was the glue that made it all work. Anyway, hope you're in the shop building rods. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.